This is the next step up from the boats of the 70s and 80s. This is a very nice installation. That is really, really nice. That's kind of cute. This is very, very neat and tidy. Gorgeous, gorgeous yacht. Hi there, this is Captain Q. Join us as we travel hither and yon to show you some great deals on some really interesting boats and maybe learn just a little bit with each one. Hey, you found Georgetown again.
We're back here.
How did you do it?
Third time this year.
We are right now in the Director Robin Hood Marine Yard in Georgetown, Maine. It is the most delightful spot. It's just beautiful. You take a look out over the travel lift and the calm harbor and the quiet, pierced by the lonely sound of the occasional loon.
We also had a great lunch here not that long ago.
Oh, we did, yes, right up on the top there. I think it's called the Anchorage, maybe? Well, today we're going to look at a very, very different boat. It's made by the Beneteau Marine Group. Now, it is the fall, and just about every boat here is going to be wrapped up tighter than a tick. And they cover them all up with this plastic shrink wrapping material. And some boats actually use a canvas that they reuse every year. Here we come to our Beneteau 461, built in 1997. She has a 6-foot draft. She displaces 21,000 pounds, so she's actually quite light, given her waterline length of 39 feet. Now, by example, the SCHEEL that we looked at had the same waterline length, but carried 10,000 pounds more. So you're going to find a little difference in the level of performance between those two boats. But this is lovely. There are presently about 4 or 5 of these on the market, but as you thumb through them, this is the one boat that stands out. Do you know why?
No.
No, come on, Randy. The hull color. That's a beautiful dark blue. And the nice thing about the hull color is that Beneteau likes to put a lot of port lights into their boats, on the cabin trunks and in the hull, with an eye to just making them feel less claustrophobic below. And that's all well and good, except when you see a big white hull with all these piercings, it's not as good looking as it could be. With the dark plexiglass in the side hulls and the dark blue, they almost disappear. So the only thing you really see when she's underway is the white cabin top and the deck.
What's the gold striping called?
That's the COVE stripe. And many boats, they often put a strip of tape along there. In this case, I'd say this is probably an all-grip spray gold on top of the flag blue paint job. Now we got something down here. We got another one of these holes in the bow. You remember the hole in the bow we saw?
Sure do. It's your bow thruster.
That's the bow thruster, right.
Yeah.
And that just makes maneuvering something like this that much more easy in tight spaces, parking in and out of marinas. Her hull and paint job is really in nice condition. We're not ablating as much as we did on one of our more recent boats. This is great. Now, there's 2 things down here on her keel that makes it a little unusual. This has actual wings on it, and it's also a torpedo section to it. The torpedo is designed to give it as much lead concentrated as low as possible, and the wings are also down there to give her stability. So between the two, this is going to be a fairly stiff boat. Ballast displacement ratio is about 36%. So she'll stand up all right, and but also allow you to have a boat this size, that's strong, that's shallow. She only draws 6 feet. There's 6 feet of depth. They often look like it's more than that.
What if this is an unusual through hull element?
That's just the depth sounder, and it's probably it's a newer version, and it's pretty exotic. This may even have a forward fish finder on it so that you can see the contours of the bottom ahead of you. And then right beside that is a little paddle wheel for the speedometer on this side, which I think has something growing in it. Here is the folding prop, opens up like so, and gives you a 3-bladed folding prop. We've got a semi-balanced rudder here. A little bit of the rudder is in front of the shaft, and the concept being is that When water pushes it, when you turn this like so, there'll be water pushing it on the front edge to help you steer the boat. She's in nice shape underwater. This boat is in great shape. And here we go. Gorgeous, gorgeous yacht. Well, Randy, we made it up here. We have a wonderful view out to the water here in Georgetown. And I'm behind the wheel. This is like an aircraft carrier in front of me. All the room in the world. Enormous beam. This is about 13'6" or so. And a lot of room. I'm not even certain where to start with this boat, but she's got a beautiful console here filled with Raymarine electronics, your radar screens, your GPS, single lever engine control right here. This little knob right here, you know what that is?
That's your bow thruster.
That is the bow thruster, you're right. And a green mark to push it starboard and a red mark to move it port. So you push that little puppy, and that little blade up in that hole, in that little tunnel, will shove this 21,000-pound boat sideways, enough to get you off a dock, even with a little breeze holding you in. The cockpit is nicely molded around the wheel, even with this big wheel. You can see that I can actually walk around this, and that's always a nice feature to have. Lockers back here, which are enormous and have access to your bilge pump, fender storage. Here's our fuel tanks. These are in their own separate compartment, and they have a rubber gasket around it, so when this shuts, it closes it off completely. If there's the slightest bit of leak, that propane, being a heavier gas than air, will go to the bottom and it will exit out a small tube, a hole, out into the ocean, and therefore save from any potential explosions or problems with the gas. This is a very nice installation. Do you remember our old handle on the other boats? You pull on this and the engine stops right there. That's the kill switch. And then forward in the cockpit, you have all the sail handling controls that are led back here. These are called line stops, and they're all marked. The Traveler's right in front of the Dodger here. You see it set up right there, which is nice because it's out of the way of people in the cockpit. And as the line comes through this Traveler, you put it on the winch and tighten it up, and then when you got it as tight as you want to, you just close the line lock, and you can take it off this winch, and it's free, and the line is where you want it. Both these winches can be used for multiple sail control items. Okay, Randy, we're at the pointy end of the boat here. A very nice anchor line stowage with an electric windlass, and power controls are right up here as well. So again, everything nice and tidy, and not really a flush deck, but a low, very low deck. The mast is quite something. It's a major section, single set of lowers and upper shrouds. You don't see any winches on this because the winches are all in the cockpit. And the furling mechanism here, this is a Schaefer boom furling system, and the sail will come right down this track and come in here and then roll up inside the boom. The nice thing about this system is that it gives you an infinite amount of furl necessary for any given wind condition, and it can all be done from the cockpit. It's a great system. Heavy, massive castings down here at the gooseneck. This is called the gooseneck area right in here, and all the Schaefer product that you see coming through here is beautifully machined and ready to go. Below it here you see a vang. It's a screw thread of some sort. It's like a giant turnbuckle. You can see the threads at either end, but a lot of nice working space, sun tanning space, a place here for I think an 8-man life raft. She's really a very nice boat. It's huge. There's tons of volume here.
How many people you think you could sit around here?
Oh, well, if we use the Captain Q yardstick, there's 1 of me, 2 of me, 3 of me, 4 of me, 5 of me, probably about 10. This is the new thinking of sailboats. Even though this is 20 years old, it's very crisp looking. This is the next step up from the boats of the 70s and 80s. So let's go take a look down there.
Yeah, sounds good.
These doors are solid and on hinges, so they'll close right up. And the nice thing about them is there's still glass in there so that you can see through them and get light and know what's going on. So that's a nice arrangement. There are only 3 steps coming below. This is one of the more expensive boats that we've looked at in our little yacht hunting. It's sort of beyond what we thought we were going to be finding, but I wanted to take a look at one of these to give you a sense of comparison. A really big U-shaped settee on the starboard side with a giant table, so very commodious. You can slide in on this bench seat here, and all of your instrumentation is right in front of you here. It's all repeated up on deck, and that's what I like. I like a basic set of instruments below in the peace and quiet and serenity and dryness of the below decks. And then you can transfer that information right up on deck. We have the ubiquitous bell required by the Coast Guard for foggy conditions. And to cook, you've got, well, let's see, about a 10-foot long galley. And I'm going to guess this is probably the freezer section. It is the freezer section. It's got a hold up for it, which is nice. And on next to it is the ice box with a separate set of cooling panels here, not just a spillover from the freezer. Nice storage in all these lockers, and they're all aerated, so there's fresh air able to move around and move through them, keep them sweet smelling. Actually, as we stand here, this boat is as sweet as can be right now. A 3-burner propane stove with a very large oven. 2 sinks here. We've got a bigger sink and a smaller sink. I'd say wash and rinse. I am a little surprised that these aren't deeper, but I would like to have a little deeper sink here, but these are more than adequate. One thing that's very nice here, I don't know if you've noticed my finger goes in, this is a special kind of little latch here. Usually you go in these holes and you got to look around and find where your finger catches something, then it opens it up. This is actually a spring-loaded piece right here that you push on. So literally I'm just pushing my finger in and draw it out and it opens up. That is really, really nice. And the fit and finish and all this is very nice. You've got part of your shrouds right here coming down that massive bar, and that's down to a big steel plate that's glassed into the hull. We're up in the pointy end of the boat. It's really, they've actually fitted in a queen-size berth here. There's a nice couch settee down beside it, in front of it. All of these things will have storage underneath them, and there's storage lockers, and there's a hanging locker right here as we come in. For another little seat, and again, the ceilings are all beautifully finished, and the overhead is too. It's very clean, and all this look about the boat gives you the ability to keep it clean and wipe down after a trip. And you get, no matter what you do, where you go in a boat, you're always going to get salt air coming in and leaving a residue on the walls and surfaces. And this is just so easy to come in and wipe down and call it a day, put the boat away. This forward stateroom has its own head. It's all fiberglass everywhere, easy to clean down and flush down. There's an electric toilet right there, which is nice. Again, easy to clean. It has a hatch overhead, and it has the opening port out the side of the cabin. This has a seat too, which is very nice. This is a delightful master stateroom on this boat. You've got a solid port light, opening port light, then 2 big hatches forward, and then 2 opening ports on the port side. Just give us a tremendous amount of light. A head, good size head, but there's a shower drain here, and it's all plastic and all can be wiped down. That's kind of cute. Now we're back in the after quarter berth room, really giant. So for a couple that want to just cozy up for the night in a quiet anchorage, this is nice. There's again another port light here. Down here is a panel that's going to give you access to the engine. This may be one of the very better accesses we've seen so far. Here's your oil dipstick, your oil filter, your primary oil filter, fuel filter up top here. This is very, very neat and tidy.
Sparkling.
The drip pan underneath it is not coated with a flood of oil down in here, which means that the engine's probably pretty tight. And I think we'll find the same sort of access from the other side. Beneteau really does a wonderful job on their detail work and their inventiveness. You might not be surprised to find we have something like this on the other side. I'm in another great big quarter berth, and just so these people don't feel bad, they've given them their own head right here.
What do you think about these curved steps? Do you like them? Are you pro curve?
Yeah, well, it makes sense because when the boat heels over, one side is going to be flat, and that's the side you'll carry your weight on when you come down the companionway. All in all, she's a lovely boat, very comfortable, very friendly for the large family or couple that have a lot of friends, possibly more friends than Randy and I have. Randy, we had a great day today. Oh my gosh. We saw our first big cruising sailboat. When you get on board one of these, if you haven't been on board a Beneteau, you've missed something because they're really something to see. The amount of living space, hard living space below in that boat is just phenomenal. All the accommodations are down there to feed and keep your crew happy. And for another set of couples or a bunch of children, there are 2 additional quarter berth staterooms, each with their own head, complete shower and electric flush. So these boats are not inexpensive, but they are really worth it. You get everything you hope for. The boat has everything you possibly could want in a big cruising boat for a large family. And it's all new. I say new. The boat was built in '97, but today that seems new compared to some of the boats we've looked at that are even 20, 30 years older than that. So we were delighted to see it, to get on board, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And maybe someday we'll go down to the Virgin Islands and find one like it and charter it and have a great time.
Sounds good.
Now, we always like to have a little rating on these boats. I can tell that boat's been floating because I just can tell that. And I have a picture of it floating. So it gets the automatic 10. For the dollar value, for the amount of boat and newness that you're getting, and of the new style boat level of design and layout and everything included, I'm going to give it an extra 5 today. So that's a 15 on our scale. It's a heck of a boat. Let us know how you feel. Would you rather save up a lot of money and buy the big Beneteau, or do you want to go to sea right away in something that is less expensive than a used car? If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when the next one comes out, please hit the alert bell. And that's not desperate at all. We're having too good a time doing these things, so you can hit the bell or not.